That's what I was mentioning. That's the reason why I clubbed that Artemis 2. There's no end to human beings exploring capacity. That's how we keep developing. Now, this is how Toastmasters throughout the world operate. And to conduct a meeting, we stick to our timings. Whatever whatever be the number, whatever be the situation, rain or shine, we start on the scheduled time. To conduct a meeting smoothly, we always follow three simple ground rules. One is keep your mobile phones in silent mode so that you don't cause disturbance while the meeting is on. And we don't talk about sex, religion, and politics. Other than that, we are free to talk about anything. And when the meeting is on, suppose if you want to discuss, please pass it out to a chat. See that unnecessarily disturbances not caused. Otherwise, sensible disturbance is always welcome in Meraki. With this ground rule set, it's now time to call for the presiding officer of the meeting. Today's presiding officer is one train setter. That's what I used to call him. Every time he sets new benchmarks. Once in 15 days, whenever we come here and think about this gentleman, there is something new to learn from him. That's what he is. That is what is the spirit that he embodies, that spirit of Toastmasters. Learning, improving, and passing the whatever we learn to others. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the presiding officer of today, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar Raman Chittan.
Good morning, Meraki and guests. Good morning. In sound of the gavel, I declare meeting number 245 over. Few years back, I was participating in a table topic event, and the topic master gave a topic, something related to pressure. Probably, I am unable to recollect the exact topic, but it was something related to how would you handle pressure. Somehow I managed. So because I was under pressure. But later, as usual, like any other Toastmaster, after coming back, then we have version 2. We will also think how we would have done better. Then while I was thinking about so many versions, one different approach came to my mind, that is scientific approach. Right? Scientific approach. So first one is definition of the keyword, pressure. So in scientific terms, how do you define pressure?
Something is building up.
Formula.
Unwanted thought process.
No, formula plus physical terms. As per the physics student.
V is equal to IR squared.
No, not really. Okay. So by the way, there is a eternal term called force. Is there any relationship between force and pressure? Are they different? No. Okay. They are different. So actually pressure is nothing but force by area. So when I stand here, so the pressure is based on the area where I am standing. Suppose if I stand with a wider leg, then the pressure will be less at the bottom. Right? So the area determines the pressure. So then I try to correlate this area with our area of networking. Right? So many a times when we are confined to a single room and we don't interact with people and always within 4 rooms, then our pressure, whatever, whether it is personal life or work life, the pressure will be more. The moment you start interacting and widen your area of network, then the pressure will come down. Do you all agree?
Yes.
So in fact, I have a classic example from my own family. My father used to be a very people person, and he used to take classes for ICW students, and every morning 5 o'clock he used to prepare and meticulously will go at some classes he used to take at the Institute of Cost Accounts, and some classes he used to take at home. So always he is mingling with people, and he was hale and healthy, but during pandemic time he was confined to 4 rows. Right? So he was not able to meet people, and he was not, within the next apartment he was not able to interact, and that made a toll on his health. So and finally he had a lot kind of setback which could not be resolved. So immediately within 1 week of admission in the hospital, he died. He passed away, not because of the corona. So he had a lot of complications with the heart, brain, and then kidney and other systems. I felt that it was mainly because he was not able to confine himself, he was not able to mingle with people. But today, friends, so if at all, if you are facing that you are having a pressure at work or pressure at the personal life, there is one forum where you can go and interact with people and you can widen your area of network. So I think the answer is obvious, that is Toastmasters. And 100 years back, this gentleman, Dr. Rolf C. Spendy, found this. So he was primarily focusing on communication skills as well as leadership skills. So in fact, the tagline of Toastmaster is all about leadership skills. So that is the line, because it says where leaders are made. So apart from these two, then we also improve our interpersonal skills. So interpersonal skills can also be clubbed under leadership skills, but basically that is slightly different. So how to interact with people, how to empathize with people, how to showcase our listening skills, all that are part of interpersonal skills. So that can be achieved only by widening your network. And definitely you can find there are some Toastmasters who have gone great heights because they go beyond the club, they participate in area level events, division level events, and then district level events by taking up roles and responsibilities. So with that thought, we will begin the meeting. So before I introduce the Toastmaster of the day, we have one guest. We will take his, you can come here, introduce yourself and how did you come to know about the event.
Good morning, friends. My name is Keshav. I'm a semi-qualified chartered accountant. So I'm going to write my exams in November 2026. So while I was attending a course in ICA, Mr. Pattabhiraman sir, he happened to be my faculty. So he told, like, in order to improve our communication skills and build new network, it is in best of my interest to join Toastmasters Club. So with his guidance, I joined Toastmasters Club. So in the coming days, I would like to interact with more people and build my communication skills. Yes,
So your pressure will come up. Go through this and keep coming as guest, and one day you can decide to become a
Yes, sir.
So now it's time for me to introduce the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster is the person who will handle the entire session with the theme and make the meeting more interesting. And in every club, one of the members take up this role. Today we have a wonderful person who takes up any role and he will do best justice for the role he has taken. He is working in a fintech company, in a multinational company. And please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you, DT Sundar, for your good introduction. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good morning.
India is a very magical place. For every 100 kilometers, language changes, culture changes, and deliciously food also changes. So today we are going to speak flavors of India as theme for today's meeting. So this is something very close to, I think, everybody's art and stomach. So for me, I used to be in management consulting between 2004 to 2010. So it used to be a lot of travel across many states in India. So I happened to eat a lot of food. Actually, it was an interesting part within the work. So today I would like to share some of my experiences, some of the delicious foods which I was able to take. So I just wanted to share some of my experiences today. Maybe since all of us are very familiar with South Indian food, let me start with Western India. So when it comes to Western India, so there was one place called Chiploon, where I am. Chiploon is something near to Pune. In this place, it is actually Western Ghats. I happened to eat a thali made entirely of kokum. So kokum is a fruit which is something similar to your tamarind, which is a tangy fruit. Say for example, starting with soup to fish curries to even rasam made of kokum. It was one such delicious food. Even today I could still remember the taste which I would have had sometime in 2009 or so. So I think this is the power of food which I would like to keep sharing through the meeting today. Given that maybe can we actually, I think since we have a lot of time and very less in agenda, maybe let's have a quick round robin kind of it. Maybe some food or some cuisine which you happen to have and you still remember? Maybe we'll have this part, which you still remember.
The first time I had a proper Rajasthani thali. I loved each and every item in the thali. It was very fulfilling. So many flavors, like you said. There was sweet, sour, and many to add to. So
Nice.
that was very good.
Good.
So I'm very fond of different food. The recent addiction I have is for the mutton thali in Sulochana in Pune.
Sulochana.
The hotel
Nice.
Sulochana close to Chakan.
I never like it.
Okay.
So that has multiple option of mutton,
Okay.
starting with the mutton soup and mutton curry, the red curry and white curry. Also with thick layer of soup, the rasam,
Good.
or I'd say the curry, with the bakri roti
Okay.
and a sticky rice.
Nice.
That's the
Okay. Yema?
Yeah, I tried Puttu and Kadla Kodambu somewhere in Kerala, so that was actually.
Good. Nice. Keshav?
Yes, sir. So for me in Kerala, I had to had a like neer dosa. It will be like very paper smooth like that and very crispy like that. So along with that, I had groundnut chutney. So it was very delicious.
Nice. Magali?
I love the Kashmiri naan. It is very colorful and it's like it comes with all the tastes. Like they added these cashews and then this dried grapes and all. So it's like sweet and then it's little sour. So I love that.
Nice.
Kashmiri naan.
I think we'll continue to speak about food through the day today. So now when it comes to today's meeting agenda, something like a thali, we are also going to have different varieties of speeches. So in every Toastmaster, for the benefit of guests, for every Toastmaster meeting, we will have 3 sections. One is prepared speeches, which is like your main course. Then you have table topics where people have to come and speak on a topic instantly, which is like your, which will give you a spicy twist. Then you have evaluation, which is like any food needs to be evaluated. There is something feedback, something like that, which we have team of evaluators who are going to give. In addition to that, Meraki has a special section, which is the management book review. This is like a proper appetizer which we have been having, which is actually a good food for your thoughts. So before we get into there, now I would like to call general evaluator who will lead the team of evaluations. Before I call him, he is one I always look up to him for his enthusiasm. I am not really able to visualize myself at his age, whether I will carry the same level of enthusiasm. He has got very, like when I asked him about theme, he has actually mentioned a list of places where he has been fond of, starting from Tenkasi to Marina to tasty buttermilk in Erode. Please put your hands together to welcome General Evaluator for today.
So today members, we have only one prepared speech and there will be one evaluator. I will introduce him a little later. So before that, let me introduce the TAG team. TAG stands for Timer, Accountant, Grammarian. Timer role will be performed by our VP Education, who has achieved all our tasks as a VP Education for this year. Take a round of applause. Please invite.
Hi, today I'll be playing the role of the timer role. So today I'll be actually seeing monitoring how much the time limit, within the time limit if the speaker and the role players are playing. So whenever you reach the minimum limit, approaching the minimum limit, I'll be showing the green, this is green. So whenever you are approaching the maximum limit, this will be yellow will be shown. And whenever you are in the maximum limit, red card will be shown. And prepared speech, it's 5 to 7 minutes. Table topic, 1 to 2 minutes. And evaluation will be for 2 to 3 minutes. And we'll also be having new joining induction as well as moments of the truth. So that will also be done. So moments of the truth will be 15 minutes and new joining induction will be for 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you, and I'll be sharing the timer report when general evaluator calls upon.
Thank you, so let me invite the general grammarian. Grammarian role will be performed by Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Kumar, our past president as well as the current ExCom member. Put your hands to welcome Distinguished Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day and General Evaluator. I'll be playing the role of grammarian. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listen carefully to their language usage. I'll take a note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, sayings or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce and keep track of the word of the day. Word of the day for today is infusion. It's a noun. Act of introducing a certain modifying element or a quality. I would say an example for this word of the day is, I expect Mahalingham's speech today will be an infusion of personal experience and a professional journey. With this, I will give the report by end of the meeting when GE called upon. Over to you.
Thank you. This is Professor Kumar. So besides this tag team, I will also be independently evaluating the entire proceedings and give my report at the end of the meeting. Right now, let me hand over the podium back to the Toastmaster.
Next, I would like to speak about a place called Silvassa. So, maybe can anyone know where is Silvassa? Thanks. So, it's the capital of Dadra and Nagar Haveli. So, I happened to stay in Silvassa for about 3 months together because I was taking a training there. I think this was in 2004. So, Silvassa, there is something special about, maybe just to explain you the geographical location of the place. Gujarat, as you know, it's a dry state. So there are two union territories at the maybe south of Gujarat. One is Dadra and Nagar Haveli, other is Daman and Diu. So both these places actually liquor flows freely because everyone in Gujarat will come there for only drinking. So this is like 30 kilometers from Vapi you have Daman, other 30 kilometers you have Silvassa. So Silvassa, like one thing you will be very surprised is every hotel will have liquor served, be it vegetarian, pure veg hotel with liquor. So this is some combination which I have never seen in the past. In this place actually, like, because I had to stay continuously for about 3 months, actually I think two things I still remember. One, the delicious poha which I used to get for breakfast. Poha is a very simple dish, but it used to be so tasty, which I think I never had a chance to taste the same way it was cooked then. Secondly, the chicken cream soup. I think I never, that was so delicious. It used to be, so generally in North India they used to call junction as chow. So it used to be in one chow. At this particular restaurant, I think I might have had for some 20 times. After that I would have tasted, I have never tasted such a delicious chicken cream soup. So that's why I still remember Silvassa more than for anything else, at least for the chicken cream soup. Now, going back to the next section, next we will have management book review. This is going to be done by one Toastmaster who is very always focused on health. So when I asked about his thoughts on the thing, he said he is fond of filter coffee. He has mentioned that filter coffee is not it was like his message was something so emotional, the way the filter coffee should taste. I think I could see the way he enjoys his filter coffee. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Narendra.
So, today we are going to talk about one very simple book. It's called Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg McEwen. This is a very simple book. Before I talk about the ideas from this book, let me ask you a simple question here. How many of you felt that on a particular day you are occupied with back-to-back meetings, constant deadlines, a lot of messages coming in? Towards the end of the day, really not sure whether you are moving forward on certain things, right? So what is happening there? We are totally busy with too many things, and you're not choosing the important thing to work on. So it's not really, and this is not the book for time management. This is a book for deciding decision making. basically. It's not a book for time management, it's a book for how to decide what truly matters to you. And this book has, the whole idea from this book is very simple, right? If you don't decide your priorities, someone else will say your priorities. And the three core ideas that I like from this book is very simple ideas. Number one is little but better. We're constantly with a lot of accepting a lot of new requests for meeting, new expectation, new deadlines. Constantly we accept, say yes to most of the thing. By doing that, saying yes to most of the thing, you want to satisfy the other person. But at the end of the day, you are getting yourself disappointed. Right? So what this book says is, instead of non-essentialist mindset, talking about essentialist mindset. Ask yourself, instead of how to get everything accommodated, ask yourself, what is the important thing that I do right now? What truly deserves best use of my time? Number two idea is, everybody knows, right? The power of saying no. We constantly say yes to many things. We say, even if you have multiple projects, we say, let me try another project. Even if you have some sort of a tight deadline, we again compress that deadline and say yes to that. Again, what is saying is, instead of asking yourself, can I do this? Is saying, ask yourself, is that something really important or truly requires my time? And decide on the priorities, whether to say yes or no. Third one I really like is the idea of creating space for thinking. With constant back-to-back meeting, we are fully occupied every hour. What happens at that point in time, we are not deciding on our priorities, calendar decides our priorities. So, Greg says that create some time for thinking, to reflect yourself, to evaluate and to decide. Instead of accepting too many things, take some time, gaps of time, and reflect, evaluate whether this is the most important thing to spend my time, and decide on doing whether to take up that task or not. It's a simple, instead of accepting all the 5 meetings in a day and being present only in each meeting, choose a couple of meetings which is most very important and delegate or delay that other meetings. If I summarize in a single statement about this book, it's not about lack of time, right? It's not about the lack of time, it's a lack of deciding on the priorities. That's what this book says. And in a nutshell, this is the infusion of clarity, thinking, and making a decision which truly matters for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raju. I think you delivered a very good message of choosing what is essential. I think that is something very key. Thank you for that. Moving on, maybe next I would like to speak about, maybe let's move to the North India. maybe I visited Jammu sometime in 2009 again. So maybe at least at that point in time, I think it was not so friendly, but like maybe at least travel to Jammu Kashmir was always little, you will get some shivers. But actually, I think the place made me so comfortable for about a week when we went. So something special about Jammu is, which I never expected, was food. Kashmiri food. I think as a country we are less exposed to Kashmiri food. I think one example of whatever Magalingam said, I think I went to a restaurant, like the way thali was served, one of the special items is mutton. So you would see varieties. Rogan Josh is basically invented in Kashmir. So the kind of flavor I think they have, and it won't be spicy. So that's the most important part, which you would actually, I think it's so good for your stomach and you would literally love it. Another thing which I would never forget from Jammu outside of food is a salesperson who was selling a Pashmina shop. So it was a market and we went for shopping, and I still remember that it was a young chap of maybe 20 years. He was selling, he was continuously speaking for 3 minutes. It was way better than any of our Toastmaster speeches. You wouldn't believe the way he explained. Pashmina shawl actually was originally out of the Pashmina sheep's wool, but the way he explained how it is made, the person next to me actually bought it for 5,000 even without going further. So that shows, I think that's again the power of speech, which I actually had a great thing when I went to Jammu. So I think coming back to our meeting, I think as speaker, all of us have something like a chef trying a new recipe. I think we also have the option of speaking whatever we think, and then we can keep improving. So that's the forum, I think, which we are privileged to have in a Toastmasters meeting. So now let's get into the prepared speeches. Sorry. So since the evaluator was not available, I just want to. So for today's prepared speaker, we have one Toastmaster who joined us recently. He is someone I could see his passion in every meeting of whenever he comes.